hello from, if you know me and if you don't, I'd like to welcome you to our 5 tips putting more money into your pocket, which of course we all love. So thank you for joining us, and without further ado, I will just go ahead and go over a little bit of who we are and what we do. So if you're not familiar with Europe Express, we're a full-service FIT and customs group tour operator, strictly servicing Europe. On the map, you'll see the 22 countries that we service, anything from Portugal up to Iceland, Scandinavia, over down to Greece. We handle the 22 countries where 82% of all of our American travelers are going when they're planning a trip to Europe. So the great news for us is for 26 years, we've exclusively worked with only the travel agents, so we do not have a consumer-facing product. So if you're working with us, know that we're working just with our travel advisors and that we do not have a consumer-facing product, so you will be strictly working with us as a tour operator. Our call center operates in beautiful Seattle. That's where our reservations team, our groups team, our docs team, everybody resides up in beautiful Seattle. And then we also have an office located in Barcelona. So when your traveler is traveling, we do have in-destination support. Our team in Seattle, of course, knowledgeable and passionate and all well-traveled destination specialists. The great news with using Europe Express, and I like to always say, our team has traveled probably more than any of us on the on the sales level, but they're all in-destination specialists, and they've either lived or they've worked or they've studied abroad immensely, and sometimes they've done on 3. So all of our FIT and group bookings are completely customizable, and all of our groups are offered to you at a commissionable or a net rate. So without further ado, I will get into our products and service. And I'll just touch on these briefly because we are going to go over the commission, the ways to make more commission on our products and service. But I will go over in case that you don't know what we do have to offer you. We offer you both contract and published airfare. So whether your client's looking for first class or if they're looking for economy, we offer you all these different classes of service on all major carriers, and we offer them at a commissionable rate for your client. The great news when using us for your air product, we do have an air department located in Seattle that handles all of our ticketing and all of our schedule changes. So as we know, there's been quite a few schedule changes lately, and also, if Air France decides they need a day off, so they've decided to go on strike for the weekend, we're able to handle those changes for you so you're not getting that phone call at 2 a.m. when your traveler is either trying to get from destination or to destination. We handle this for you. On our hotel and accommodation side of things, we offer you a 3-, 4-, and 5-star market with an array of products. We have both city center and airport. We have, if you're looking for pre- and post-cruising, we have hotels located by the port, both ocean and river. And of course, my favorite properties to sell are our specialty collection. If anybody's been to my presentations, you know I love the off the beaten path. We do the Paradors, we have Posadas, we have the B&Bs and the villas. We've added recently, and these are quite popular. It's kind of for that client that's asking you about the Airbnb, we've actually added citadines back into our product line, so you do have apartment options in quite a few different destinations. And then, of course, if you're looking for something spectacular that we've added recently, and if you're a part of our newsletter, you know that we've added our beautiful igloo hotels in Finland, which are absolutely amazing. So on our sightseeing options, taking you over to our sightseeing, you're looking at anything, if you're looking for a cooking school in Barcelona, if you're looking for a private driver and guide in some of the most sought after cities in Europe, we do have those options for you. And if you don't see, if you're looking for a tour that you don't necessarily see in our product, make sure that you talk to one of our reservation specialists because they're going to be able to customize anything in the booking for you. We've had some very quirky and very different requests, and it's kind of something that we take pride on doing and actually getting those requests for your client and making sure that what they're looking for is what we can offer them. So I will, I'll actually go back one and touch on transportation. Whether you're going from port to port or if you're going private transfer, we have every single transfer option that you're looking for in our product line. We also offer you all 27 lines of rail. They're all live and loaded in our system, along with all the different classes as well. And then last but not least, and this is a funny one for me, I live in Los Angeles, and I don't really even like to drive in Los Angeles, but I told my reservations agent that I would want to drive in Paris. And that's the last time I decided that I know more than the reservation agent because I think the rush hour traffic in Paris was maybe 10 times fold on the rush hour traffic in LA. That was probably the scariest part of my whole trip. But if they are, brave enough to drive, we do offer them the rental car services. And this brings us to our why. And so I think this is my favorite slide just because your clients don't buy what you do. They're obviously buying it why you do it. Your clients aren't calling your phone because they want to book 2 nights in a Hilton, or if they want to, have you just book one tour for them. Your clients are calling and booking with you because really they understand that it's your business, it's your profession, and that also it's what you do to train. It's what you choose to do to bring your passion to. So it's why you do it that the traveler is going to buy from you. The travelers also invest in their hard-earned money, and they need your expert advice. So my guidance to all my travelers that ask me, oh, you work in travel, and oh, you have, travel agents still exist. To me, I have to tell them that when you buy from a travel agent or a travel advisor, you're buying why they do it. So make sure that when your clients buy, in the return, they understand why you do what you do and why you have the knowledge and, the tools that they're going to need to create that trip of a lifetime. And so for that, we're going to jump into 5 tips for more commission to your pocket. And I will say the first one, while it shows as first class, really I think I just look at it as an upgrade. So a lot of times if I'm in an office and I'm with a travel agent and they say, oh my God, I just did a booking with you and we booked our hotels and we booked our tours. I said, oh, did you book our transfers? And they go, oh, well, they're just going to do a taxi. Well, I can't tell you how many times it's actually been cheaper for the client to book a transfer going through us or, something that's not a taxi, because if you've been to Spain, they charge you per bag. They charge you per item that you're putting into the trunk. So it actually, and per traveler, so it actually comes out more expensive for them to take a taxi when they could have easily just taken a private transfer or a shared transfer, depending on what they're looking for. So, you board your 10-hour flight. You get to a foreign country, you're exhausted, you're jet lagged. The best sign that you've ever seen is your name sitting there at the airport with a gentleman willing to help you with your bags as soon as you exit out of customs. So this is just a simple upgrade where you can add this in, and sometimes we just don't think about it, we just forget. So make sure that you are offering transfers. Now, of course, on the air, I did mention we have contracted and published rates. So if you're going with our contracted and our contracted rates, usually business and first class, you're going to see that you can save your client quite a bit of money compared to the published rates. So make sure that, that whole stigma of being, oh, first class or business is too expensive, make sure that you're shopping that with us before you actually just give up on the pricing and just assume that it's going to be too expensive for your client. There are some clients that, to them, that extra $200 to $300, however much it is, it's going to be very, very much worth it, especially when they land a destination. Train services, I think, is a big one you can upgrade on. I just took the train. I was in Burgundy, and I did Burgundy back up to Paris because I was scared to drive again, so I dropped my rental car off and took the train. To me, it was worth every penny to upgrade to first class, because the reality is, whether you're doing first class or coach, there's different inclusions that are included in that. It could be meals, it could be added drink service. The upgrade may be worth it to your client. And unless we're offering that and getting like a hard no, then make sure at least we've given them that option, because they might not necessarily think about that option until you've offered it to them. And then last but not least, I think I touched on a little bit, but transfers. Transfers can also serve, it sounds like a luxury. Oh, I'm going to get a private transfer. Well, when I went to London, I did a private transfer. I did the Mercedes on the way in. And when I left, I actually did a private minivan. It was about €30 cheaper. And to me, I didn't really care how I got to the airport. I just didn't want to be at 5 a.m. with other people in my transfer talking. I want to sleep for the hour drive and then get on my plane and go home. So the transfer options, it can be anything from meeting your client at the gate to meeting your client at the plane. We have quite a few different options, and depending on your client's budget, we'll make sure that it fits to their booking needs. So with the meet and greets, I'll touch on that just on the transfer service. Our meet and greets, I really think that if your client has the budget, there's a meet and greet that actually can go to the plane, pick them up. They'd never have to go to the customs line. They do customs in a private room. Everything's done security for them, and then they're on their merry way. I know it's one thing that my president's a big fan, or my vice president's a big fan of. All right, the next one is going to be make the tour intimate. How many people have been to the Louvre on a Saturday in summer? I did the Louvre about 2 months ago, and unfortunately the day that I could work it into my schedule, there wasn't a private guide available. And I can tell you, the first thing that I sell when I sell the Louvre is going to be the private guide. The reason being is we've handpicked all of our private guides. They're all guaranteed to speak English. They're going to make sure that your client's particular interests are all seen and they're all studied. If they have something that they're looking for beforehand, if you let us know if they're maybe going for a genealogy tour, or I had one group that was actually in Scotland, and they were obsessed with the Outlander show. The travel agent, myself, neither of us had seen the show. It was based on a TV show and a novel, so we went, we got the book, we built them an itinerary. They took the itinerary that we built from scratch, not one change made to it. Client booked it right away. They were in love with the dream itineraries that we made them. So if it's a history group, if it's a wine enthusiast, I have a sewing group that goes with me every year. We can make sure that all of your clients are looked after and with the best guides that we have to offer. So make sure that you are offering those private guides. That's an upsell. Or if you even want to do a small tour guide, a small group, you'll see on our website under the tour how many clients are actually included. So if it's going up to 12 guests in that small group. My favorite that I just did was a private cooking class in the chef's flat. There were only 4 of us. It was the most amazing cooking class that I've had. So make sure that you are taking those options. So we all know that our clients, they'll tell you all day long, you know, the hotel's not that important. We're not going to spend that much time in it. You know, we're going to be out and about all day long. I cannot stress enough to my clients, or to at least my travel advisors, that the important thing when booking your accommodations, you're going to do the 3 most important things for it, or when looking for your accommodations. You're going to want something that's safe, and it's good in quality, but also you're going to want somewhere to get a nice rest and also feel like they can start their daily events off on the right foot. So looking for accommodations, make sure that you're reviewing the hotels, you're considering what amenities they have, if they have children, or if they have, if they're a honeymoon couple and they don't want to be around a bunch of children. Make sure that you are looking at those reviews of the hotel. And on our booking engine, you can actually find the amenities that are included with each property. You can find them on the city map. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit more city center, or if they want something that's a little bit farther out in the country, you can find all those on our city map, which show you the property and the rating, and then also 3, 4, or 5 stars. This helps to ensure that all your clients are going to feel at home, and they're not going to call you at 2 in the morning trying to ask you to change their hotel. So you can also choose the price point on our booking engine. That can show you, like, if they're maybe you want to get them the creme de la creme when they get to the destination the first night, and then, you know, the last night they're going to leave from the airport. So you'll be able to choose those different locations as well. And then, of course, my favorite, the B&Bs, the castles, the French chateaus, the Italian villas. I was just in Ireland, and it was always on my bucket list to stay in a castle, and I learned that it really wasn't on my bucket list. It was a little bit too experimental for me. I did enjoy it. It was beautiful, but I think that I do need the amenities sometimes of just being a little closer to the city center. So and then I'm not sure if everybody knows this, but this is one of the best things that we do for our agent. This is something I truly believe in, and I think if any agents out there are considering doing it, I say let's do it. More and more agents are beginning to put the added value of the booking fee into their booking. So it might not necessarily be a fee that they consider keeping through the whole booking. You can start off your booking with it saying, hey, up front we're going to charge a planning fee of X amount of dollars. If you book with us, we can refund that to you towards your booking, or if you hit this amount, this threshold of money, we can return that to you. The reason being is that with a client, you're not necessarily sure that they're going to book with you. They could be shopping, they could be asking for your advice, and they go online, they book it themselves, and then you've just spent your hard time, your hard-earned effort on building them something that might not necessarily be what they wanted. So I always joke to my boss, and none of us are driving Ferraris in this business. Well, I always tell him maybe he will one day, but our time is definitely worth the money. So do not feel any shame in putting your agent fee in this. Another good thing with the contracted air, going back to that, is if you do find that air for a contract at a lower rate than what they can get published, put a booking fee in it or put an agent fee in it. They don't necessarily have to know that the agent fee is there if you're getting them the package price. So make sure that you are taking advantage of that as well. There's actually a article that just came out that it says when you figure an approximately 20% host agency that you have to split, and you calculate your hourly pay, you might not even be meeting your standards of what you would pay yourself hourly. There's a whole article on it that I suggest you to read if you want to go on. It's actually on Travel Market Report, and it will tell you how to calculate what you actually feel like you are earning an hour in the travel agent business. And then number 5, I think this is one that it kind of makes common sense, but retention is the best way for commission. So if you're listening to your clients' needs and you're lending advice and you're giving them recommendations, then they're going to understand that your interest is their interest. I was actually in an office yesterday, very successful office here in downtown LA. They've got several ASTA Diamond Awards, and she's a really good mentor to me and a bunch of younger people that are in the LA area. And I asked her, I said, her agency started in 1960. I said, how did you make it so successful? She said, well, I bought it from a man who you would walk in and ask to go to Africa, and he would turn around and send you to Hawaii. And I said, oh, he just wasn't well traveled. And she said, no, he just never listened. And because of that, he was going to close his doors, and she bought the agency. And, she's been a complete success. She, cheers for everybody who's a travel advisor. She's marched in Sacramento. Super amazing lady, but it makes sense to me. If you're not listening to what your client wants, they don't feel like they actually are talking to somebody. They just feel like you're an order taker. So I tell you this because if you listen to your clients and you qualify their questions and you're selling them on your genuine care and they know you'll go the extra mile from them, then that's going to be a repeat client. If you're going through their documents with them, pull them into your office or meet for coffee, go through their documents, recommend some restaurants, ensure that they have everything they need for their dream vacation. I promise you they're going to return. The great news is they're probably going to return and also send some clients to you. And the cheapest form of a lead is a referral, because you know that you've already serviced their clients or their friends or somebody that they trust, and that client has sent them your way. So that's important. I do think that if you are sitting down with your client, you're going through your documents and showing them that support before, and then you show it to them during, and then you show it to them after their trip, ask for feedback, ask for photos, ask for reviews, and then always make sure that your client knows that flattery is the best form of, or flattery referrals are the best form of flattery. Excuse me. And then resources. So resources, we have a I will tell you, our marketing team works very hard and constantly updating and grabbing feedback from agents, and we really do care what your opinions are, so we do take them into mind. So you'll constantly see our resources center being updated and just great tools that come out for the agents. Our sales team, you'll see us in the top corner. Not too bad. We have 5 of us, so Meredith and Michaela, Garrett, of course, who's in our Seattle office with Kier. So if you don't know us, reach out, check out our webinars. Of course, you're here with me today. Thank you. Or reach out to any of us. If we're always traveling, we're always on the road. We love to be in offices. We love to put faces with the team and make sure that everybody knows that we're here to support you. So please do reach out to us. And then if you're interested, please subscribe to our newsletter. All of our information that we push out, whether it's our webinars, our new products, we just did a new Barcelona Ferrari tour, and that comes out in our newsletter. So all the cool tours that you'll see, or new hotels and property, that comes in our newsletter. And then, of course, every agent's question is, what FAMs do you do? So on our newsletter, when you subscribe, you'll get an automatic list of whenever we host a new FAM. Our e-brochure is on there. You'll see you can actually personalize that with your agency. We have what's called city flyers. We just added a new Dublin one, and this has basically our top tours for that city. These are actually consumer-facing products. We don't use these for ourselves. These are actually just for our agents. You'll see on the right-hand side of the screen, bottom right, that it'll show you a little legend of how many days it is, and if it's a small group, if it's a big group, if it's $1 sign, or $3 sign. So you'll see the whole legend that's pretty consumer friendly. And of course, as we don't sell to travel, or we only sell to travel agents, you'll never see pricing or availability on our website unless you're logged in as an agent. So city guides, they're not on this, but you'll actually find them online under the resources tab. These are absolutely my favorite. If you have not used these are such a powerful tool. They are constantly updated. They have anything from what to do in the destination, a variety of restaurants, and it's not just the three-star Michelin. I mean, you can find, I was able to find dim sum in Barcelona, and you can find there's vegetarian, kosher, whatever it is you're looking for. You'll find a variety of restaurants. It has the address, it has the website, and the phone number, so that way the client's not calling you asking to make reservations, which we know sometimes happens. And then also you'll find things to do, and of course euro or currency converters. So we've talked about all of our great products, I think. I know I talk a lot, sorry. But all of our great products, very easy to book. There's 3 different ways. You can actually go online. We've made a submit custom quote request form. This takes about 24 to 48 hours. You just type in the city that they're departing from, the cities they want to go, the length of stay, any kind of details. There's a note box for that. You can go ahead and submit that form, and we'll have a response back to you about within 24 to 48 hours. Call us. Our FIT travel specialist and our group specialist are all in the Seattle office. Our FIT operates 7 days a week, and groups is Monday through Friday. The great news about 7 days a week, some people work better on Saturday, Sunday. I'm one of them. My phone's quiet. There's nothing going on. I can catch up to work. So there are a staff that are willing to help you and ready to do your reservations if Saturday and Sunday work better for you. And then we do have an award-winning booking engine online. If you haven't tried it, it's pretty straightforward in the sense that you walk it through just like you're booking your own travel. There's suggested itineraries on there, there's city guides, there's archive newsletters, sightseeing flyers, and there's a step-by-step video tutorial of our website if you would prefer to learn it that way. And if not, we can always help you. If you reach out to your sales manager, we can always walk you through a booking and give you any kind of pointers that we know ourselves. And so here is your territory map. I think everybody, just like we know that travel advisors are real people, you want to know that your sales managers are there and we're here to support you. And if you have any questions, so this is our team, and you can see our territories, which is based on where you live. Not one thing that we do a little differently is we're not based on where you see your territory manager is. If you reside in their territory, that's who your manager is. We don't go by host agency, or if you're working for a host agency that's in a different territory, we actually go by your physical address to make sure that you're reaching out to the correct one. And then we deliver online training, and of course we do regular webinars, we do personal office training. So if there's any way that we can help you build your confidence and discuss any kind of European destinations for you, please let us know. We are kind of your go-to, and I think everybody's quite the pleasure to work with. And then here are the numbers. You can see our hours of operation. And then you'll also see our groups department. And then you'll see if you want to keep up with us on social media. And then after that, I will give it over to Danielle for questions.
Awesome. Thank you, Amy. So much information. I love it. So we do have quite a few questions coming in. Let me see here. I want to know. So one question that was asked, if you're adding an agent fee, Amy, is that going to show on any of the invoices to the clients at all, or how does that work?
That's a great question. So the question was, if we're adding an agent, like an agent markup fee or an agent planning fee, is it going to show on the invoices or what on the documents? So when we send you out your documents, you actually receive 3 different forms. You'll receive one that's your agent copy that shows you the commission and the breakdown. You'll receive one that's a client copy that has the breakdown, so itemized, and then you'll have one that's a packaged price. So the packaged price will have the planning fee inside, and it will not be transparent. But if they do prefer itemized, then you will see the agent markup fee. So you do not have to provide that to them, but some people do prefer to provide their client with an itemized. It just depends what you prefer.
Right. Yeah, I guess clients don't need to really see that, do they? So,
Well, some people just prefer to see where they can remove and add and edit items, and some people just see it as a package price. So it depends really how we're presenting it to them. That's why we offer you both.
both options. One question I'm getting, is there a maximum amount for the fee if they did want to add something like that on?
There's not a maximum, but we trust that you know what your client can handle. So if you do drive away in a new Ferrari, they might be questioning your markup.
Yeah, might want to put a limit on it.
There's not a limit on our behalf. It's on your behalf. We trust that you know your client.
Have a limit for yourself. Is it possible to purchase train and transfers only?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So the question is it possible to purchase train and transfers only? So two things on the FIT side that we do not do alone are going to be air and rail. So we can do transfers and rail depending on the amount of transfers and rail that you're doing. I think what it comes out to be is 3 times the amount of, I can get back to you on it, the exact amount, but basically we can do transfers and rail only as long as it's not rail heavy. It has to basically even out to the amount of 3 times of what's booked on transfer side.
Got it. Yeah, so we'll get back to Vicki on that for specific.
I'll get back to Vicki, sure.
Yeah. Just looking through. Can invoices be personalized with a logo? That's coming from Jess.
So when we send over your documents, we actually send them to you in an Adobe form, a Hotmail form, and also a Word document. So you're able to add whatever you would like onto your documents in the sense of if you wanted to add some notes for Mr. Smith or if you wanted to add your logo. We will have a destination with a picture of the destination book that says prepared exclusively for John Smith or whoever it's for, and then you're able to add in your logo or whatever else you would like to be on there.
Awesome. Yeah, so they can personalize it for themselves, like add their own, travel agency logo on it and send it out.
Absolutely.
And really customize it too. Going back also, we have now, can you remind people if we can just do transfers and tours or if hotel nights are required? And that's from Matthew.
Okay, so the question was if we can do hotels and transfers only, or if, tours and transfers only, or if hotel nights.
Transfers and sightseeing. So they want to know if they can do transfers and sightseeing or if hotel nights are required for transfers and sightseeing.
Okay, so for us, we can do hotels, transfers, and tours alone on any of those. That doesn't matter. It's that you cannot do air alone and you cannot do rail alone. So if you're booking air with us, you do have to have a land component on the FIT side. If you're doing group with us, we can book air only without putting too much confusion in there.
Perfect.
So hotels, tours, transfers, we can do solo. There's not a requirement.
Awesome. One question from Karen. How do we subscribe to your newsletter?
So the question is, how do you subscribe to our newsletter? If you go online and you go on the europeexpress.com website, on the bottom it will say subscribe to our newsletter, and you would just type in your email address and opt in for the newsletter. We typically send one a month out, so it's not like you're going to be bombarded with every day Europe going on sale, because it's not. It's typically just new product and resourceful information.
Yeah, like you said, like the webinars and FAMs and any new products that we're offering, that will all be featured in those newsletters, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. All right, we have quite a few questions, so I'm going to send these questions over to Amy to follow up with them. Thank you for your time and for giving us all this information for the 5 tips for more commission in your pocket.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and I'll be following up with questions after this.
All right, thank you all.
Have a